first thing I want to do is we really need to define what soulmate clients are, and the way that, and the definition that I'm referring to and that I am talking about when I talk about a soulmate client business and a soulmate client business model. So the first way that I define soulmate client is somebody that pays you very well for your unique strengths, for your unique gifts, talents, zone of genius, your unique purpose. Someone who pays you really well to express your purpose through your work. Someone who values you at the highest level and allows your brilliance to shine. With soulmate clients, you get to feel creatively free and you get to feel valued when you're attracting soulmate clients. Soulmate clients also allow you to make the greatest impact on the world. When you are focused on soulmate clients, you are really getting clear on your sweet spot, and you know where you are making the biggest impact. And soulmate client attraction is, here's one of the nuances, okay? Soulmate client attraction is not just about the other person. It is not just about your finding your soulmate clients. Then when you find them, then you've hit the gold. It's important, yes, and you need to understand that, and you need to be able to identify them, yes, but it is not all of it. Primarily, soulmate client attraction, a big part of it is about who you are being in your relationship with them. Okay? They treat you as a leader and authority because of who you are being. So this is one of the primary things that I see other programs missing in the synthesis and in the way in which that they bring all of these things together. Of course, other programs teach this idea, right? But not in the synthesis and in the way, in the structure that I am teaching it. So it's about showing up as a leader, the authority, setting really clear rules and boundaries. Soulmate client attraction is not just about finding the right people, picking the right people, but it is about shifting who you are being in the relationship to not only attract the right people to begin with, but also to be able to enjoy the relationship with them. This is where your business becomes creatively free. This is where your business is no longer a burden, okay? And when you shift the way that you are being and showing up, they're going to feel that from the moment that they connect with you and your brand all the way up until they're in your highest level programs. You can be authentically yourself, and you're not having to walk on eggshells to keep or maintain the relationship. This is where true business freedom happens. And that's why it's really important. And this is how I've synthesized that entire process so that you are able to continually move through these stages to have more and more true business and creative and financial freedom, and really show up and live your purpose and have your purpose be designed, have your work be designed around your purpose. Stages to create a business that you dream of is what happens is that you get to love your day-to-day work. You get to feel inspired. You wake up Monday mornings excited. You feel creatively free. Your business is serving your true purpose. You reach your massive income goals without, here's the important part, without feeling burned out, overwhelmed, or energetically drained. Because again, I see a lot of business owners. A lot of business owners don't even reach their income goals, but I see a lot of them who do, who it becomes golden handcuffs because they have not really identified and stepped into that soulmate client attraction energy, that soulmate client attraction beingness that you have to be. So, you can reach those massive goals, but do you want to do it when you feel terrible about it, or do you want to do it in a way that really frees you? A business model that supports you, team members that fuel you, that support you, that energize you, clients that pay you really well and they respect your boundaries. You get to set your own hours. You get to take off as much vacation time as you want, guilt-free. You get to, when you're actually off work, you are not constantly thinking about work. You are able to actually be present in the moment where you are, whether it's work or whether it's not work. You're not constantly thinking about work. And you get to feel good spending money on yourself, your business, and others. And money is a tool, it's not your master. So let's go through the stages. All right, so stage one is soulmate client clarity. We have to get clarity in stage one, otherwise we will build a business full of non-ideal clients in stages 2 and 3. So the 3 primary goals in stage 1 are to get clarity on who your soulmate clients are. We need around 70 to 80%. It's just kind of like a feeling. You just have to feel like you know about 70 to 80%. It's who values your strengths at a high ticket price, what your unique value proposition is, what makes you stand out, what differentiates you, where you can find those people, what they're saying, what kind of work you're doing with them. You need, around 70 to 80%. You feel that you're pretty clear on who they are so that you can go to stage 2. You also need to be converting sales already at this point on a high ticket offer between 10 and 20% conversion rate at over $1,500 per contract before moving on to stage 3. When you've finished these things, you can move on to stage 2 once you finish these, once you've gotten to these things. Now in stage 1, if you don't have a conversion rate, especially if you don't have a conversion rate on a $1,500 contract, then your goal is going to be to work on getting a conversion rate at a $1,500 contract and ultimately 10 to 20% so that you can move on to stage 2. You also want to get a pretty strong on the basics of messaging and copywriting, really meaning words that capture the attention of your soulmate clients, what your unique voice is, your unique perspective and your messages, what makes your work different. Again, if you are not able to do this in stage 1, you're going to waste a lot of time, money, and energy trying to move into stage 2 if you don't have these things down. Soulmate client autopilot attraction. And what you're doing in stage 2 primarily is that you're getting your marketing on autopilot so that you can spend less time in marketing. Ultimately in stage 3, we're getting to spend less time in marketing and sales, but in stage 2, we're really focusing on having to spend less time in marketing. So you're booking sales conversations on autopilot in stage 2. Now, before you can get to stage 3, where you are going to get to do less sales and marketing, in stage 2, the primary goals are going to be to book your enrollment conversations on autopilot or decrease the time that it's taking you to book sales conversations. So in stage 1, you're learning how to do them consistently and booking the right people into them. In stage 2, we're really focusing on decreasing the time that it's going to take you to get them into enrollment conversations. In stage 2, we also want to be closing your contracts at 25% to 35% and over $3,000 per contract. So in stage 2, we're focusing on making those sales conversations even stronger, raising your prices so that you are ready for stage 3 and getting more than 85% clear on who your soulmate clients are, so that you can move into stage 3, which is soulmate client magic. Now, again, stage 3 is really exciting because it's where you get to focus on the work you really want to do. You get to start putting sales and marketing on autopilot, and you get to focus a lot less on that. Focus more on your clients, your creative projects, mastery of your craft, leadership, delegating the things that you don't like to do, all the good stuff. Now, in each stage, you're going to get to do more and more of the stuff that you love to do. Get to create a business by your design, a lifestyle by your design, more freedom, more creativity, every single stage. Even when I work with people, even in stage 1, we get there a lot better and faster than they are right now. But stage 3 is where all those pieces start to come together and you start to have more of everything that you really started your business to do and to focus on. And the primary goals in stage 3 are a business model that really energizes you. You get to do less time on sales, less time and money on marketing. You get to do more client work. You get to increase your profits, focus on increasing profits and increasing your impact. Now in stage 1, so the reason we cannot skip this, right? Like the reason we cannot skip to stage 3 is that we have to build critical skills and critical foundational pieces in these stages so that we can do this and we haven't built a business that you just throw money into and it never gives you any money back. And that even if you were making money in stages 2 and 3 without stage 1, if you skip stage 1, and even if you're making money in stages 2 and 3, you're going to build this business that's full of non-ideal clients who aren't fulfilling, aren't letting you live your purpose. You're going to feel burdened by your business. You're going to feel disconnected from your business because you have not done the work that's required to have a soulmate client business. This is why people can make money and you can have a business that is successful from a financial perspective without doing stages 1 and 2, but it's less likely, number 1, and even if for some reason you did create it, it would not be full of soulmate clients, which is, you may as well get a day job that pays you really well. So So it's really important to follow these stages and to build the key skills in stages 1 and 2 so that you can move into stages 2 and 3. So in stage 1, what's really important so that you can get that clarity on your soulmate clients, start booking and closing clients into $1,500 packages, and start to get good at copy, is that we want to get you a couple of cold traffic sources. We want to make sure you know exactly how to book enrollment conversations consistently, though this is going to be more time consuming in stage 1. But because you're doing it in stage 1, you're going to start to get better and better at it so that in stage 2, you are ready to do it with less time. Number 3 key skill is we want to build sales skills so that you're able to actually close. This is going to be money mindset and actual sales training. And then number 4 is something people don't talk about a lot, which is the emotional capacity to take on clients. It means setting really good boundaries with your clients so that, you may have done a 6-month package with a client with, 2 sessions a month. But if they're emailing you, and you're spending 10 hours a week with a client when you thought you were only going to spend 2, it's really shifting that mindset into a leadership and an expert mindset so that people aren't taking advantage of you. They're not being demanding. You're not thinking about them at 3 a.m. So you really do need to make sure you are thinking about and focusing on your emotional capacity to have more clients. Now, all of these skills are also going to help you if you know how to do them. They're also going to help you get clarity on who your soulmate clients are. They're going to help you practice your messaging and copywriting. And then you're going to actually be able to close so that, when you get to stage 3, you have the money to invest in, putting your enrollment conversations and your marketing on autopilot. You know that you can get that, you have money to invest, but you also know that once you invest it, you can get it back. You can continue to make money. And you know that when you're putting money into marketing that you are, and time into marketing, that you're actually getting soulmate clients. So talking to people on phone calls, doing sales, having actual clients, getting people into enrollment conversations, working on your cold traffic, all of these things, if you know how to do it right, are going to help you get that clarity on who your soulmate clients are and who they are not, and are going to help you build those muscles of who you need to be in your relationship with them. So, and it's also going to help you find what's unique about you and find your unique voice and find how you're different from your competitors so that your messaging is really strong when you go into stage 2. Because when you go into stage 2, one of the first things you're going to want to do is get your new leads on autopilot. But let me tell you how expensive this is, period. The end. It's expensive to do that. But it is extremely expensive if you're not very good at copywriting, if you're not very good at knowing how to get people to convert from content into enrollment conversations, if you're not very good at that piece. And even if by some magic you are able to do that, if you don't have that clarity on who those soulmate clients are, you're going to spend a lot of money down the drain to get an email list full of, of prospects that will either never convert, or you don't want them to convert because they're not truly soulmate clients. But when you have those skills, now you can book those enrollment conversations on autopilot. So that's going to be primarily with evergreen and ongoing content. But if you're not strong at content, if you don't know who your soulmate clients are, if you don't know what they're saying, then it's just you're either gonna stay stuck in stage 1, or if you try to prematurely get into stage 2 by hiring somebody or throwing money at ads or whatever, it's either not going to work, or even if it does, it's possible that you're going to have a tribe full of people who you actually don't want to work with, who don't light you up. So really important, even if you could skip to stage 2, there's so much that you learn in stage 1 that about your soulmate clients that you really want to make sure that you're focusing on that. Now, even if you had an arsenal of funds to move yourself more quickly into stage 2, you can do that, right? You can get yourself into stage 2 more quickly, but I still don't recommend skipping into stage 2 until you've done the key skills that are required in stage 1. And then, if you're like a lot of people and you don't have this giant arsenal of funds, and you don't have a huge, runway to make mistakes, then once you have these leads booking on autopilot, which is going to cost money, you're able to close them, you're able to convert them, and you're actually earning money. You're losing money with you're actually getting an amazing ROI. So you're going to want to have those money mindset and sales training in stages 2. And again, you still have to do the emotional capacity to take on clients, making sure you have that leadership and expert mindset, setting really great boundaries. And you may even be in a space where it's time for you to create a signature system, where it takes you less time so you can actually take on more clients before you move into stage 3. Because if you're doing sales on autopilot, and you don't have a way to take on more clients without just burning you out, then you will, leave a lot of money on the table. And again, these things, to invest in them, they cost money. So you want to make sure that you're able to have the capacity to make that money back, to get the return on the investment. So really important for you, because through these skills, you're not only going to get more clarity on who your soulmate clients are and who they are not, and so that in stage 3, you can start working on higher quality prospects and leads, getting your sales more on autopilot, and that these are truly good quality fit for you. So the bottom line is that if you try to skip these stages before you've mastered stages 1 and 2, they're probably not going to work, because you're not strong enough at content sales and marketing, and if you're not clear on who your soulmate clients are, which is what stages 1 and 2 gives you, how you need to be when you work with them, so you don't feel like you have to walk on eggshells all the time, to have them, respect you. You can set boundaries. It won't matter how much money you're making, because it won't be a soulmate client business where you actually feel, creatively fulfilled and free. So you won't be able to outsource sales if you're not clear and you have good enough skill set here. And even if you've got an amazing salesperson, right? If you are not clear on who your soulmate clients are, they're going to sell you somebody into your package, into your program that you may not want to work with, who may not respect you, who may not value your boundaries, who may try and walk all over you, right? And you're not going to be able to write content that and copy that attracts them, and converts them potentially. Or if you're not clear on who they are, it's going to be the wrong people. And for sure, if you can't do it to some extent, outsourcing it is going to be a really big challenge, because a couple of things are going to happen. Number one, they may be amazing at writing content and copy, but it's not your soulmate clients. And because you're not clear enough, you can't articulate that to them. It's not their job as a copywriter to figure that out for you. They cannot possibly do that. It's going to get the wrong people in. Or it's just not going to work. Most of the time, it really just doesn't work. So if for some magical reason it does, those are the consequences, though. So the best way to get that level of clarity is to do the sales yourself for a while, do the one-on-one marketing for yourself for a while, until you have those skills and that clarity to automate it, and the money to automate it, and the ability to invest, and then the skill set to get the return on the investment, because you're good at sales. Practicing your own messaging and copywriting, see how people respond, working with your clients, practicing your boundaries and your leadership. So it's really important for you not to skip to stages 1 and 2, and to stage 3. But the cool thing is that in stage 3, because now you get to focus on leveraging your sales and marketing, and you get to put your sales and marketing on autopilot. Now, the cool thing is that there are a lot of ways that you can do this when you want to go into automating your sales and making them more effective, spending less time in sales. And you just get to decide which of those things you really want to do, what aligns with your personality and your zone of genius and your short-term and long-term desires. But again, if you try and raise your prices without having sales skills, if you try to increase the qualifications for applicants before you're clear on who your soulmate clients are, you should always be getting better at sales calls. And if you try to sell a low ticket product or service via content without being really good at content creation, without being really clear on who those soulmate clients are, you'll just spend a lot of money, a lot of time, and get very little return. And also you need to be really good at upselling them from that low ticket offer there. You could hire a sales team, but again, even if that sales team was somehow brilliant and amazing without your training, which normally it requires you to be really good at your own sales, to be able to effectively hire a good sales team, they still might give you really undesirable clients, because they just don't, you are the one who knows this better than anybody can. You can shorten your sales calls, but again, if you don't know how to do them in a regular length, it's going to be really hard for you to know how to cut them and shorten them. Or you can sell high ticket via virtual workshop or in-person workshop. But again, if you are not very good at your content, if you don't know those soulmate clients inside and out, if you're not very good at sales, it's going to be hard to go from it's just a lot of variables. At the end of the day, stage 3 is a lot of variables. And so stages 1 and 2 minimize those variables, help you build those skill sets over time so that you are able to move into these more advanced tactics and strategies that ultimately take less of your time in marketing and in sales as well, so you can get back to doing the work that you ultimately love. Now, beyond stage 3, the sky's the limit. I mean, you just get to ensure that you continue to have a business model you love, you do the work that you love, but you can start testing new creative ideas, you can stay innovating. You use what you learned in stages 1 to 3 to test another soulmate client market, right? You can test a new one after you've mastered that. You can hire soulmate team members. It's going to be a lot of the same overlap in what you learn in stages 1 through 3. People who let you shine in your zone of genius and support you in places that you are not energized or strong. You can try another season of your zone of genius, another facet of your zone of genius, another part of your creative expression. But when you master stages 1 through 3, you can just keep replicating them to express yourself and your creativity in lots of different ways, but you're doing it in a very strategic and systematic way so that you truly know in leaner ways before you move on to more time, money, expensive ways. Okay, so to recap, the first stages of soulmate client business, they need to help you get clarity on who those people are. They need to help you transform who you are being in relationship to them. You need to bring in income right away so you can fund your business and your life. You can fund your business to those next stages, those next levels. You need to master sales, messaging, and marketing to those soulmate clients. And that's what you need. Those are the primary things that you need. But if you skip them, then you're going to find yourself in a business that's a burden. It's not fulfilling. It's not creatively inspiring, and potentially not even making money. I mean, that happens a lot. So it's really important to do these stages in that order.